Hey everyone, this is Avi Harkishin from AH Charts. Let's review or analyze Coinbase for a moment. Um, so what I'm looking for, this is something I just pointed out in the Discord when Coin was on top here, and I say be careful because I think a pullback is coming. But nevertheless, that's gone. So let's look at where would be the next buying zone or accumulation zone for those who's waiting for Coinbase. If you've missed this entire move, we are in a wave two pullback right now for Coinbase. We've completed wave one, two, three, four, and five. Where wave one was the lengthiest wave for this specific cycle that we're in right now. So let's take a look at what I think could happen next here. So we have completed a 5 wave sequence for Coinbase. We're either in an ABC move to the downside, which we're in here. And the next zone I'm looking at right now is this 274 to 266 area over here. That's what I'm looking at the moment. Now we're having an A B C move, very short B wave here. Now let me just remove this for a moment like that. Now if we are looking at the smart money, it's right at 255 over here. So we're currently sitting at this volume node, which is a high volume node right now. And we're kind of breaking just below here. And as you can see, let me just pull this up and show you. There is a fair value gap right over here. So that's the fair value gap right here. So there, which is that gap that you're looking at here in the volume profile. So I think there is more downside for Coinbase, which is going to come straight down within this zone here to the 200 EMA, the daily 200 EMA that you're looking at. So I still think there's some more downside if you're looking to accumulate. I would say just wait a little bit more because I think we have a little bit more downside come down. Now, this is one of the things I'm looking at, several different zones I'm looking at. There is also a daily gap at the bottom here, which is 231 to 214 level that I'm looking at here. If you are to take your fib retracement tool from the bottom all the way to the top, a wave to a retracement usually is somewhere between right here at this golden pocket, which is golden retracement level, which is 257, which is a 0.618. So you're coming right at the top here of this high volume node. So whenever you're seeing a retracement happening in a wave two, that retracement could be somewhere between the 0.5 and a deeper retracement, which is the 0.786, which is really where the smart money zone is, a very deep discount. But the golden rule is somewhere at that 618, which is a 257. You tend to see that retracement happen, which I think you're coming down within this zone right here to the high volume node over here. So where I would feel a bit more comfortable accumulating coin if I'm buying coin is once we get to this zone within around this 265 ish. Now we could still see this daily gap gets filled, and I'm going to show you a bit more if we can't hold this level here, which is 257. But I think we're coming down towards this level, straight to the 200 EMA. I think coin is coming there. Let's look at a bit more Elliott wave on this one here. If we're looking at Elliott wave, so we have completed, this is wave one. We just complete, as I told you. So we had either an ABC to the upside right here. And now we're seeing a 5 wave move, and the projection for that 5 wave move is somewhere around this 287 area, which you can see a bounce right here at the top of that 0.50 right over here, 293 area. Somewhere within this level here, you can see that bounce, which we talked about, 293. to 257, you can see a bounce, but I think you're coming down towards to filling this gap here towards this 260 area, 266 area, 257 area, as we're sitting on the high volume node. Now you do have that daily gap. This here is purely on Elliott wave, pulling back and using Fib retracement tool. This would be your next buy zone within this area, but you're still going to watch to see how price react, because what you want to see happen, you want to see confirmation based on volume price analysis and just not jump into a trade because it has hit a zone. You want to see that seller's exhaustion. And the way you see that seller's exhaustion is watching the candle formation and volume at the bottom. You could get a hammer candle with high volume or something, which would say, okay, um, this is the seller's exhaustion happening at the moment. And that will be your tell, that your indication that, hey, let's jump into this trade here. So still see a little bit more downside here, and you still have that gap that could possibly get filled, 231, 214. If this level does not get, if this level doesn't hold, you're going to fill that gap. On Elliott wave base, this is what I'm looking at. Let's look a little bit more in terms of the volume profile and smart money accumulation zones. All right, so what we're going to look at here now is that I've talked about the wave one. We are in wave two, but there's no telling exactly where wave two is going to end. There's some rules anywhere between 0.5 all the way down to that 786. And the golden rule is that retracement is somewhere within that 0.618, which is the 253, 257 area. So you have this high volume node, which I'm currently looking at. This here is institutional buying that took place right over here, as you can see. And then the price just push right above the 200, the daily 200 EMA. I'm looking to see price come back in within this range of this high volume node here, which is a point of control at 264. So I want to see price come back within this retest institutional buying zone right here. And let's see some sort of reaction, whether or not we're going to see some confirmation based on volume price analysis that institution has stepped in and there was a seller's exhaustion happening. So I'm gonna keep looking at this to see whether or not that's happening, because you don't want to jump into a trade here and there has been no confirmation. You can obviously see price do something like this, moving down. You can still see something like this. But yeah, I still think you're coming down within this zone. I could be wrong, but this is where the institutional buying took place, and I think you're going to come back down within this level here for wave two. Now, a more bearish case scenario is that, as you can see, this accumulation that took place here, you had the same thing took place over here at 201, right? Which is a deep discount smart money zone, which is over here. And this is where you had that gap that took place somewhere at the bottom here. Okay, I just paused the video. You guys don't know that my son just came in the room, so I kind of lose my trail of thought now. Anyways, where was I? Let's see. Yeah, I was talking about the deep discount, which is a smart money zone that you have right here at 201. There is still a possibility of price coming down within this deep discount, but I'm looking to see price at least retest this institutional buying zone and see whether or not at the 618 level, whether or not we're going to see institutions stepping in and seller exhaustion has taken place. But if price began to break this zone here, you can see a bounce. This is definitely where I think you'll see a bounce happening within this zone. And you can still see something like this if smart money wants to bring this down here at a deep discount to fill this daily gap, which we talked about over here. You can see this level fail, and you could come down and fill this daily gap. If that happens, this is where you accumulate. So you can start your accumulation over here, but we're still going to watch for confirmation to see whether or not smart money is stepping in and whether indicators are turning bullish. But this would be your level where I think price is coming down within this 274 to 65 area at least. You're going to see this happen and want to see how price react within this level. If it fails to hold this 257, Be prepared. The gap is going to get filled because you do have a daily gap at the bottom here at this level. Let's move back to the next chart again. All right. And that daily gap, as I was saying, is from the 231 to I think 214 area. What is that? 231 right over here, right at this level here, all the way down to 214 area. This is a smart money zone. This is where you can see price come down as well as smart money, very deep discount. But again, we're looking to see this level hold here, see some kind of a reaction of institutions stepping in and start accumulating. So just a little bit more of waiting. We're breaking this trend right now. We're breaking this trend line. Usually, sometimes you see the trend line gets broken. And institutions step in and start accumulating bottom here. Get a lot of people who are long, get them out of their position, and then you take the price back up, which you can see happen again, which could be something like this. You see a break, and you see price start accumulating at the bottom here, and that's when you start moving back up again. So you can see something like that take place. All right, let's remove this. Don't need that. But that's what I'm looking for right now. At least it tests this zone and then a deep discount at the bottom here. But let's look at this zone. That's what I have right now for Coinbase. A bit more downside, but be prepared. This is going to be a good accumulation once we get to the bottom here. All right, guys. This is Avi Harkshin again. I'm out. Hopefully this was helpful.